Hey everyone, Monk here, and today I bring you my PvE DPS guide for Stamina Necromancer. The changes in light and medium armor passives have made Stamina classes way stronger than before, and Necromancer is, if not top, then one of the best Stam classes ATM. So without any more delay, let's get into the build. To start with race, Khajiit and Dunmer are your best options when it comes to top DPS numbers. Both races are within 1% of damage from each other. However, Khajiit with its extra health and recovery stats does come out slightly ahead in terms of overall stats. For the Mundus stone, we are using Thief for group content, that is dungeons and trials, and for solo we'll use Lover. In solo arenas, most of the mobs and bosses have about 12,000 resistance, and with 6k penetration from Major Breach and about 940 from 1 light armor, we must use Lover to reach about 12,000 of penetration value. For the food, we are using RTM takeaway broth, and the alternative in case you run into sustain issues would be standard Parse food, lava food soup and salt rice. I would, however, not recommend this food to be used in trials or dungeons. And for the potions, we are using standard weapon power pots. For the CP, as always, 3 slot builds that you will always keep on are Master at Arms, Fighting Finesse and Deadly Aim. For the last part, you have to keep switching back and forth between Backstabber and Biting Aura. Anywhere you can't use Backstabber, such as solo arenas or Sunspire, Biting Aura will be the replacement CP, and everywhere else Backstabber will be your go-to option. And now for the solo setup, we are using 1 piece of Slime Claw on head or shoulder, then 5 pieces of Vicious Ophidian on body. One of the oldest and still an amazing set in the game. Plenty of crits, minor slayer, 8% cost reduction, major expedition and stam return on kills. What is not there not to like about this set? The second set on the jewelry and weapons, we will be using Kinra's. 10% damage increase from Major Berserk is simply amazing. For the front bar weapons, you have the option to either use a 2-hand greatsword or axe, or you can also go with 2 daggers. In the skill sections, I'll show you options for both weapons. However, 2H does have an upper hand compared to dual wield in terms of damage, but both weapons work. On the back bar, we have 2 Black Rose daggers, both infused with flame and poison glyph. The last piece on the jewelry is of course Ring of the Pale Order. As an alternate option, you can also use Sulzan or Loki Steeds. Both sets are really strong, however in my opinion, Kinra's is just a better well-rounded set to be used for solo purposes. Please note that if you do use Loki Steeds, then make sure to use the Avid Boneyard Morph from Necromancer skills, so that you can proc this set by using your own synergy in solo situations. Now for the skills on the front bar with 2-hand weapon, we have is Detonating Siphon, Blighted Blast Bones, Carve, Wrecking Blow, Executioner, and Flawless Dawnbreaker. If you want to use dual wield, then replace Carve with Rending Slashes and Wrecking Blow with Bloodthirst. Executioner will actually now become a flex slot, where you can either go with Whirling Blade as an execute, Spirit Guardian for more heals if needed, or Mortal Coil for extra healing and stamina sustain. On the back bar with Black Rose daggers, we have Barb Trap, which can also be replaced with Channeled Acceleration, which is my preferred option, Skeletal Archer, Beckoning Armor, Unnerving Boneyard, Deadly Cloak, and Ice Comet or Pestilent Colossus as the ultimate. So Deadly Cloak is basically to proc Black Rose daggers, which increase our damage done by 6%, and Unnerving Boneyard is to proc Major Breach on the enemies. The reason we are not using Caltrops is because 1, it helps with our sustain using 1 stamina ability less, and second, because the damage difference between Boneyard and Caltrops is really not that great. And now for the rotation, we will pre-buff ourselves with Channeled Acceleration, Beckoning Armor, Skeletal Archer and Deadly Cloak. Then you start the combat by putting down the Boneyard and shooting the first Blast Bone. After that, use 1 Rending or Carve, followed by 2 Bloodthirst or Wrecking Blows. Then you shoot another Blast Bone, followed by 2 Bloodthirst or Wrecking Blows. And then you swap to the back bar and refresh Cloak, Boneyard and the Archer. After this, it's a rinse and repeat till the execute. So to summarize, you use a Blast Bone every 3rd skill cast and refresh the back bar skills every 3rd Blast Bone. To use the ultimate, you will drop 1 Spam Ball and instead drop the Colossus or Ice Comet. If using a 2-hand weapon, then in execute, you will drop all front bar skills and refresh back bar ones only on cooldown. Apart from that, just spam Executioner. For dual wield, nothing changes unless you have whirling blades, in which case, same as two-hand execute, spam spin to win and refresh backbar skills on cooldown. Next is dungeon setup, which is more or less same as solo except for a few changes. If you do have a healer in the group, then drop the Pale Ring and instead use Death Dealer's Fate. For the skills in rotation, again same setup as before, but this time on the back bar, you can replace Beckoning Armor with Resolving Vigor for more heals or Necrotic Potency for ultimate generation. Just make sure to use this skill after every trash pull. Rest will remain same as before. And now for the trials, first I'll show you the single target setup with skills and rotations, and then we'll quickly check out the trash setup. So for single target boss fights, you'll be using one piece of light Slamcraw with 5 perfected Relequen armor on body. And for the second set, you will have 3 jewelry of advancing Yokeda with a precise 2-hand greatsword on the front bar with health damage poison. On the back bar, we would use 2 infused Black Rose daggers with poison and flame cliff. On the legs, of course, we would have kilt, and where kilt is not usable, replace it with light or medium Zan shoulder. The alternative for Relequen will be Yandir's Might or Kinra's Wrath. Both sets are great, but overall DPS is very slightly less than Relequen. For the skills on the front bar, we have Detonating Siphon, Stampede, Blighted Blast Bones, Carve, Executioner, and Flawless Dawnbreaker as the ultimate. On back bar, we have Skeletal Archer, Barb Trap, Detonating Siphon, Consuming Trap, Deadly Cloak, and Ice Comet or Pestilent Colossus as the ultimate. The rotation for single target setup is pretty much static and really easy to use. We start pre-buffing ourselves with Archer and then use a Blast Bone, and while we wait for the Blast Bone to hit the target, we drop the ultimate and the trap. After this, you immediately start the rotation by light attacking the target, followed by Cloak, Consuming Trap, Bar Swap, Blast Bone, Stampede, Carve, Blast Bone, Siphon, Archer. And now we start again from the beginning by casting a Blast Bone followed by Cloak and Consuming Trap. The only 2 dynamic part of the rotation are every alternate rotation we would switch between Barb Trap and the Archer. And when you need to use an ultimate, then replace Consuming Trap with it. For the entire fight, rotation will remain same. And during the execute, which starts at about 30%, we would drop all front bar skills and refresh the back bar skills that are Archer, Barb Trap, and Cloak on cooldown. Apart from that, spam Executioner all you can. You will also drop the ultimate from back bar when ready, and after 5%, ignore everything and just spam Executioner. And now at the end, I'll quickly go through the trash setup for the trials, and you can also use this in dungeons. So basically we are using 5 pieces of Sulzan on body with 3 jewelry and 2 body pieces of Dagon. On the front bar weapons we have precise Master's Perfected Axe with flame damage glyph, and on the back bar we are using infused Maelstrom bow with weapon damage glyph. For the skills on the main bar we have Detonating Siphon, Blighted Blast Bones, Stampede, Carve, Camo Hunter, and Flawless Dawnbreaker. On the back bar we have Channeled Acceleration, Skeletal Archer, Necrotic Potency, Caltrops, Endless Hail, and Ice Comet or Pestilent Colossus as the ultimate. Rotation is pretty simple. You pre-buff with Channel Acceleration, Archer, and then fire the first Blast Bone followed by Endless Hail and Caltrops. And now for the repeat portion, it would be Blast Bone, Stampede, Siphon, Blast Bone, 3 times Carve, Blast Bone, Endless Hail, Caltrops, Blast Bone, 3 times Carve. Skeletal Archer and Channel Acceleration will be kept up dynamically, and drop a card whenever you need to recast these skills or the ultimate. The trick is to keep your back bar dots running and trying to get as many carve hits as possible with Blast Bone every 3rd skill. And now I will leave you here with my Parse video coming up after, and if you do have any questions or comments about the build, then feel free to post them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. See you soon in the next video.